I don't need no cases, all my pistols clean. So now I weigh my options, used to use the triple beam. Used to get the wop, mix it with the nicotine. Now I travel state to state and put on for my team.
The fuck wrong with them? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get them. I see niggas and they feelings, I don't feel them. Keep the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with it. Me at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay dangerous. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm Wild West, go to war with everybody. Cut the grass for the snakes, fuck the gossip. Front line with them soldiers, that's my posture. Gun drawn, trying to curse an imposter. She get out the pocket, go to war with everybody, yeah. Send that hate, make it to the featherweights. Niggas claim they hard, but they sweeter than a dedication. Hold on, think it's time to introduce. I'm a man and a beast and a step and a rope. Hold on, and a G and a soldier and a mover. Hold on, and a killer and a prophet and a shooter, nigga. Trying to stay humble, my shit crazy. Cold leader, need the blue stripes, no brick baby. Can't be serious, you a funny boy, young fly. Look wrong, must be a dummy, I ain't gun shy. Fuck that little bitch, she a hook. Niggas swear he the go, bring him to the bush. To the bush. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Kid the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with it. Be at the end, gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? What's the problem? Wild West, go to war with everybody.
I'm from Philly, you get hot, you catch a cold case. I'm one West, these brothers trying to set my soul straight. They done turned me to a prophet from a demon, and I'm locked in this shit and I ain't leaving. Ski mask transform to war mode like I'm Voltron. Stamp on my head and my chest from the most high. Put something tight around your neck like a bow tie. Got my niggas waiting charged up like they phone died.
Red letter, drip clean, it looks so fly. Claim he riding, that's why I left his ass roadside. He gon' die, skyscraper to a nosedive. 9mm plus P, fuck a 4-5. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. I see niggas and they feelings, I don't feel them. Keep the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with it. Be at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay dangerous. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm Wild West, go to war with everybody. Yeah, on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and their head with that shit. Fine in, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They say you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious man, stay inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspire. Cross the line, they're firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the feel like Jeepers Creepers. Say they want some smoke, dawg. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till them do us part. So if you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, fine in. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got him made, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told him I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dawg? Guns and butter, baby boy. UPK top, dawg. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that econ line van to a damn
up? No. Bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, bitch.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me a whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about anymore. I need a Vaseline like my Nina Puffer for it. Took a Zoc, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Harbor Free. Try to hope it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Told them boys we taking note. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. They bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UPK rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me a whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. They ain't locked in with the cow, then would you speaking to me for? Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and out there. Can't do with them steppers, niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole start. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our car. And I just made the call. We gon' start another war. Yeah.
Till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy, it get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends or we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he a domino. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical, guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since. All the dominance of one west rising to prominence. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got Groupons for Uber. Rhymes hard like they been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by black Impalas, let the semi holler. The showstopper, been as proper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm going, I'm off Patron, a premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modified the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when they eat on, none of them can bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel to igniter, I'm winning, coming through with the title because UPK. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
Fuck what them bitches gotta say. I'm a West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't give a love fuck what them niggas gotta say. I'm a West nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck with my Akima, fuck with my sisters, then I got a problem, I'm never gonna miss you. I got 100 hanging out the AR, I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on them corner posted with the realest. If it's a Sabbath, then we going fishing. I'm reeling them in, that's a God-given mission. I'm really on 10, but I'm stamped in the pistol. I get the order, be glad of this mission. Hebrew Academy graduate, nigga. Training, go through the baddest conditions. I don't fuck with none but the baddest of bitches. She righteous, submissive, she glad to be with me. Had that thing Putin like that, man, nigga. She know I'm a prophet, she glad to be listening. Disrespect, I ain't having that shit. Tell her go make some business from scratch. She bitchin' the different breed of black men. We don't do the back bend. I remember back when I was really trapping, trying to get the racks in, selling dope to black men. But now I'm trying to make it straight. Like, don't forget about my face. We standing up straight, can't fold us. Too heavy, the world won't hold us. Go get you some rank, I told you. Line up in these ranks, we sold you. You can take that to the bank, we focus. Ooh, how many times must we remind you? One body, one way, some break off, but never take off as a flex. When the law with you ain't no up next, it's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't beat, bitch, with that ain't no sweat. We with all that, The Lord called a nigga out the world, I responded and called back. Oh Lord, and everything that they stole from us, fuck that shit, we want all that. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the command and general, YAHANNA, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. That's why we unaffiliated with them. I cannot fuck around with fake niggas. We taking ground when we in your city. You better hide the women, hide the liquor. Keep that bitch on me, please don't butt the system. Don't be a fool and be another victim. Say you a goon, you just another Christian. How you my brother, you ain't in the with me. In the gutter, deep down in the trenches. We with them niggas locked up in the prison. Black and Hispanic, Native American, Indian. We ain't just talking shit, but we living in it. We be everywhere, you can't miss it. And we be fresh as hell, take a picture. And we professional with the scriptures. Play, we gon' script them, yeah, we some killers. These niggas tripping, they mind blown. Well, business, forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't think they pause when niggas say that they be looking for niggas to slide on. The slide that I know about is when I assemble the group with the slide on. Real, I get the order, you know that it's slaughter. See me and my niggas gon' die. The bigger the better for kingdom of heaven. You niggas get wet up by me cause I'm fed up. I rep UPK. My niggas won't let up. Got choppers, got nines, AKs, Berettas. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with what me and my nigga like, bitch, whatever. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with what me and my nigga like. My nigga like them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the command and general, YAHANNA, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. See, they always ask us like, why y'all fuck with such and such? Why y'all won't come together with such and such? I be like, we unaffiliated with them. Understand me like, I will wait.
Dirty Bird.
Buck roll.
Not no more. It's shocking.
I will wait.
Yeah. I've been feeling how I'm feeling like. Fuck how niggas feeling, I've been waiting my turn. Walking through the pits of hell, still feeling the burn. At 3 in the morning when I'm tossing and turning. Shorty gripping me tight, tell me it'll be alright. I'm gripping the pistol, having visions of death. Yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I'm in the alley with the scully on tilt. I'm ready to pull his homie, conflicted in heart. Spent too much time in the midst of the dark. I'm itching in this truth just to play my part. On a Saturday in the depths of the dark, where the zombies walk. Times Square, let the scriptures bark. And the generals talk. Fishing for that young man or the princess he called before the reapers involved. Show your chariots, Lord, dead in the middle of their war. Let your trumpets blow, revelations reveal. Let the sky crack wide, show the color of Christ. Let me watch the descent before I enter my chamber. Allow me to enter the chamber. See, the truth is amazing. Hoping, wishing, and praying. I earn my place in the kingdom. Plant my feet on the pavement. Put my brick in them chasing for the crown of this promise. For that crown of this promise.
Right, sure
I'm
is.
44.
Sure is. We wait for instructions and orders in these truths, man. Wise man once told me seek counsel. Never rely on your own understanding. It's not. This UPK, the heart different. Black on black boots ain't forces to walk different. Muscle energy, the thousand to spark different. And learned about the scriptures from generals taught different. Game bred pit with grip, the bark different. Priests and officers, we captains to talk different. Prophesy to the wind, and I endure to the end. Strap, cause niggas rock Christ, and ain't nothing to him, but check it. In your city, we them niggas on the corner. And all black changed men that put away the former. We militant, disciplined as niggas that's in order. We shield swinging off our neck and fringes on the borders. Born rugged in these streets, learned the codes in the politics. And I ain't wait for the Lord, he got me out of it. Hood nigga, hard knock alumni with scholarship. Big Glock was up on my hip, up in them colleges. And you ain't saved if you a Christian and you waiting on it. Heaven not by observation, go and take that moment. Cause your faith is in your work while you debating on it. I'm enduring to the end, this Glock ain't got no safety on it.
Sure don't. Can't wait till the Most High come and open these skies up and let YAHANNA come down here and bomb these motherfuckers. Bomb on all these heathens. Their time is up.
I can't wait, though I feel conflicted. Mind shifted to the point I gotta check my spirit. Eyes lifted to the hills like YAHANNA did. So potent, so strong, just feel it in the air. If we don't hearken, as poor judgment would disappear. He's all seeing, all knowing, you don't wanna visit. Whether short wave or long range, his aim is vivid. We can't run, can't hide, he'll come and get us. There's no test, no rest in this war business. I'm on the corner with my brothers and my garment on. Mic in my hand, chanting white man's the devil song. Provoking spirit in my people to get our gather on. Shots fired at hellfire, we get our Bible on. Wanna eat, find the menu in Leviticus. Learn to walk, talk scriptures here, this is how to fish. Hit the ground running hard, we staying on our jaw. Cause Babylon is falling, like the song that we made for y'all. We live and die for this shit, there's no plan B. We the Lord's sheep, the Lord's chosen would never flee. If it's not for the Most High, we would never be.
Never be. Stand the fuck up. Or sit the fuck down. Either you winning or you losing. Somebody telling the truth and somebody telling a lie. Who telling a lie? Wake the fuck up. Keep it moving, keep it pushing.
Turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they all down to ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Tell me we don't live in hell. My brother doing 55 in that cell. Nigga claiming he your round here spin shell. Same nigga you put on to hit the standing tail. How the fuck you turn your back on a nigga that love you? Treat your kids like my kids, treat you like a brother. I told my dog, let's leave the streets to serve the Most High. He said, fuck that shit, he tryna sell another pie. His daddy killed him, put him in the trunk, set him on fire. His wife was pregnant, he ain't never get to see his child. Had me thinking to myself, what happened if I die? Look my babies in the eyes, I gotta stay alive. I put my ego on the shelf and my pride to the side. I'm with some niggas who gon' step and got God on their side. Got in the ISUPK, they keep asking me why. As I do the work of the Lord, I gotta stay alive. Face the east, pray aloud. seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
You ever pump a pack with a snake by your side? Yes, I seen a man reach out to God before he died. Yes, I did. I know the Lord forgive us for these sins, but I'm starting to think the kingdom of heaven is for these kids. I told my daughter, there's one man in your bed, I won't stand for left. For my son, I hit your head on that fragile leg. I lost some niggas to that dope, I lost niggas to the feds. Remember Jono try to stick me for that cheese on that bread, yeah, I was thuggin' with Lucky and that nigga left me for dead. Endure to the end, cause I listened to what was said. Mother told me she loved me when she was sick up in the bed. I was running them streets, but the truth made me a man. Shit, I don't really speak, cause she'll never understand. That's why I ain't even tell her about these voices in my head. I'm still trying to manage my anger like Uncle Craig.
I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
Shalom, Israel. With ISUPK coming out of 1 West Harlem, New York, 125th Street, under commanding General YAHANNA. And since 1969, we've been bringing out the truth that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true children of Israel per the Bible. I'm your precinct officer of 50 Yashala, holding down this history class for precinct officer 500 of Dunya. Shout out to young man Hector in the building. Shalom, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shabarakatah. Most High in Christ. Another week starts. It's history class, y'all. And it's good that we teach history class because I think y'all need to know where y'all originate from, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because World War III is ramping up. The U.S. keeps sending aid to the Ukraine, and the Ukraine went and bombed a very crucial part of Russia's military. Very crucial part of their military, and now they are basically crippled, like dead fish in the water. They is in trouble, and now they trying to call a ceasefire, but the United States is sending aid to the ops. So Russia is like basically saying, like, if you help these mofos one more time, I'm hitting the button. I'm not playing with y'all. Y'all keep talking about peace, but you keep helping my enemy out. But at the same time, Putin is not fooling nobody. See, he's set war in Ukraine. It's not the first time Russia's been at war with Ukraine. All right, now let's call a spade a spade. This is white people problems. This is white on white crime. We really don't give two craps. But it's going to affect us. It's going to spill over and affect us at some point. So we do got to stay on top of it. You understand, Israel? Now, the whole point, if Putin was to invade certain areas of Ukraine, like, say, for example, Chernobyl. If Putin was able to take Chernobyl, there'll be no more Ukraine. That's how important Chernobyl is inside the Ukraine. If Russia takes Chernobyl, they won't need allies like the U.S. or anybody else. You understand what I'm saying? They will be a third world power by themselves if they take Chernobyl, because of the oil and the resources that sits in Chernobyl is why it's a treasure to Russia and why it has to be heavily protected at all costs by Ukraine. They've been trying to take Chernobyl since the Cold War and have been unsuccessful. But the ones that they need to watch out for is China and North Korea. They've been stacking their military up for the last 40, 50, 60 years. They're not playing. U.S. is not number one in military power. I promise you. As a matter of fact, if you like, I can Google the numbers. And I bring this up because all this pertains to history, because we've been at war and enslaved forever. And it just doesn't stop. Now, here's the top 10 most powerful militaries in the world, according to Global Firepower. They're going to put the United States first, of course, but if you look at the numbers, I'm going to break it down for you. So, United States, Russia, China, India, South Korea, United Kingdom, which is the UK, France, Japan, Turkey, and Italy. United States consistently ranks as the top global military power due to its extensive defense spending, advanced technology, and global reach. Number 2, Russia. Despite ongoing conflicts, Russia maintains a strong military presence with a significant nuclear arsenal. China. Number 3, China's military is rapidly China's military is rapidly modernizing and growing with increasing spending on defense. Now, I just put out this past several days, I would say within the past 3 days, I just put out an episode of Boots on the Ground covering World War III. Go on the school's Facebook and YouTube and check out the content that I dropped about World War III. It specifically busts down China's spending on defense. They have a stealth jet that topples our stealth jet in the United States, and we had the best stealth technology out there known to man at some point in history. You understand? Like, we had the stealth bomber, but what they created is next level. But here's the head cracker: the U.S. gave them the funding for the technology. It's like we give the enemies help just so they could fight us and lose. When we pulled out of Afghanistan and Saudi Arabia, they left tanks, they left Black Hawk helicopters, they left guns, they left ammunition. Why would you leave all of that stuff? They left Humvees. Why would you just leave and abandon all of that stuff for ISIS to take it? And now you gave them military power. Why would you do that? Like, I understand it's a business, but even business-wise, that doesn't seem lucrative. You understand? Like, it does not seem lucrative. Anywho, number 4, India. India's military strength is growing due to consistent spending on modernization and manpower. 5, South Korea. South Korea's military is strengthening throughout continuous defense spending and modernization efforts. It seemed like a lot of them is spending billions, almost trillions on defense and not offense. I mean, in some cases, the best offense is defense. Because if you could defend against some of the most powerful weapons, then you can sustain durability throughout a war. Because wars don't last days or weeks or months. Wars take years. You understand? Coming in at number 6, the UK. The UK maintains a strong military with a focus on advanced technology and global operations. Number 7, France. France's military has a long history and continues to be a significant player with a focus on nuclear capabilities. Coming in at number 8, Japan. Japan's military is strengthening its focus on advanced air defense capabilities and technology. Number 9, Turkey. Turkey is a major military power in the Middle East with a focus on its own defense production. Number 10, Italy. Italy's military is a strong European force, particularly in its naval capabilities. And then on notable mentions, Germany. Germany's military is significant European power, known for its advanced technology and engineering. Brazil. Brazil is a significant military power in South America with a growing focus on defense. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a significant military power in the Middle East with a focus on regional stability. and Israel. Israel's military is a small but powerful military with a focus on advanced technology and regional defense. I bring this out to say this. World War III is in the midst. You understand? And if we don't pay attention to it, everybody in the world talking about, oh, we want to see signs and wonders. We want to see miracles. We want to see a miracle survive this onslaught that's coming. You understand? What was I slacking? What was I looking for? Okay. Slacking. Like everybody say they want to see signs and wonders till the signs and wonders pull right up on them. Now they're like, whoa, wait, I wasn't ready. Nah, there's no, you wasn't ready. When it lands, it lands. When the bomb hits, it's over. It's over. You're done up. You understand? When it rains, it pours. When it pours, there ain't nowhere to run, duck, or hide. You understand? It's just like trying to hide from the Most High. There's no crevice or corner you can hide under from God. You want to crawl up under something to hide from him, he'll make that thing collapse on you, dummy. He made it. If he made it, he can break it. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. This is what's been going on for the longest. Wars and rumors of wars, little seminal wars between Russia and Ukraine, Israel and Palestine. The U.S. sticking their nose, poking bears and sticking their nose where it don't belong, trying to get in where they fit in politically for financial gain. You understand? Because they like, well, we'll help you out. I'll give you $50 million for a favor later. I'd rather just pay you the money. A favor can be worse than money sometimes. But that favor will put them right in your pocket. Some way, some shape, or fashion. You understand? It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Now, even though they're talking about nuclear capabilities and all of this and all this talk about war and stuff like that, don't fear. Embrace it, because what we have no control over it. If it goes down, it goes down. Only thing I can tell you is make sure you in this truth and you praising the Most High and serving him well and putting your bricks in, doing his work. Because this ain't for a Yahshala. This ain't for the, just for the ISUPK and the Commander Journey Honor. This is for the Most High. This is for our King, Yahweh Shah Mashiach. You understand? Who we ignorantly call Jesus. You understand? This is for Christ. This is for our Father. This is for the Most High God. You understand? So the end is not near. So fear not. And it's not just, and when I bring out history, I try to show different aspects and form of history, because I don't want to just show blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians chained and oppressed and being whipped and being hung and being unalive. There's other parts to our heritage, our inheritance, and our history that people need to know about. You understand? Even in the midst of the slavery that we endured, and even in the midst of the oppression that we endured, we had some of the greatest goddamn minds known to man. We created every goddamn thing out here, with the exception of the Most High God creating this earth and the people in it. We created a lot of these, over 90% of these man-made creations. We built it. And you know what happened? Because we're considered 3/4 of a human in their U.S. Constitution, they wouldn't allow us at certain periods in history to get the patents so we could own it and get the credit for it. No, they still stole our inventions, took the credit for it, and then the families don't get nothing on the back end. It's like they got all the wealth on the front end and they get the royalties on the back end, and all the royalties passed down through their generations. Wicked bastards. They just steal from us. You understand? They just rob from us. This is what they do. This is who they are. And this is why we have to get back to who we are as a people, Israel. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we need to learn and study our history. And with that being said, let's go to the first clip. Because I got a clip for loading full.
Freed us. They just found new ways to own us. In 1712, they created the house Negro, not to be free, but to keep the rest of us in chains. He ate what the master ate, wore what the master wore, and
those are more in Egypt, North Africa.
They never freed us. They just found new ways to own us.
Before I go further, pay close attention to what they said. When they put slaves in the big house, in master's house, it wasn't because they was being good slaves or they wanted to take care of their slaves. They did it to control, because they took specific slaves, put them in the big house because they had influence over the rest of the slaves. Understand what purpose they had with Nat Turner before he rebelled. They used him because he was the strongest slave on the plantation and he had control over all the slaves. He was able to reach them in ways that the master couldn't whip into them. You understand? And once they gave him that Bible and told him to read the Bible to them, in his spare time, he read parts that master told him not to, and he learned that book was for his people. So he used to sneak the slaves out in the fields at night and teach them the law, statutes, and commandments of God. That's how the rebellions began in the first place. But I'm going to get back to this clip here.
In 1712, they created the house Negro, not to be free, but to keep the rest of us in chains. He ate what the master ate, wore what the master wore, and loved the plantation because he got to sleep in the big house.
Their loyalty wasn't to us. It was to power, to whiteness, to survival, at our expense. By the 1900s, they gave them a new name, the Black Boule.
They handpicked scholars, preachers, activists, gave them titles, degrees, and a seat at the table, as long as they never flipped the table. Then came the 1940s, they expanded the program.
Actors, singers, athletes, dancers, all sold the same line. You're special, you're chosen. Just entertain and keep the rest of them asleep.
And it worked. Today, the house Negro wears designer, drives foreign, signs NDAs and million-dollar contracts.
They're told, if black folks get free, you lose the bag. This isn't evolution. It's a polished plantation, run by faces that look just like yours. They saw the fire rising. Black Wall Streets, black banks, a separate economy, independent, unstoppable. But they knew bullets alone couldn't stop us, so they got smarter. They sold us a new lie, integration. If we eat together, if we shop together, if we learn together, we'd finally be equal. But that was never the goal. The goal was control. Kill black businesses, kill black schools, kill black unity. Because when we had our own, we had power. When we spent with us, we built empires. So they used our pain, recruited our pastors, bought off our politicians, gave platforms to entertainers to sell integration as progress. And now you go to Walmart instead of your brother's store. You trust Amazon more than your own people. That's not equality. That's economic genocide. They didn't integrate to include us. They integrated to dismantle us from the inside. Quiet, permanent, strategic. The revolution didn't die. It was redirected into the arms of our enemies, wearing smiles, suits, and church robes.
This is the unwritten truths. They made the black man economically irrelevant to the black woman. Black power wasn't just dismantled, it was strategically unemployed. HVAC jobs gone. Plumbing, welding, mechanics cut overnight. Black men were fired in waves, then locked out of retraining. Meanwhile, prisons opened their gates. The same hands that once built America were now handcuffed by it. Black women were offered help, but only if the black man wasn't in the home. Section 8, WIC and grants all came with one condition. He had to disappear. She was told he was dead weight. He was told he was worthless. They broke the household, then blamed the culture. They never freed us. They just found new ways to own us. In 1712, they created.
You understand what that said, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Do y'all comprehend what that video brought out? I brought out just now. Do you know what that meant? That video was to show what we're dealing with in today's society. They are the ones with holding all the cards. They are the ones that are in control. They are the ones that run this MF. You understand? If you don't, I'm going to make sure you do before the end of this class. They run this. This is why we need to know our history And we need to know our God, and we need to know these laws, statutes, and commandments. It's the book of Job, chapter 8, starting at verse 8. For inquiry, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to search of their fathers. Meaning, we have to search for the history of our forefathers so we can know who the hell we are and where we need to be and how we need to stand and how we need to live. Because if we learn what our forefathers did and who they were, then we can know who the hell we are and know where the hell we're going. Because if not, we're just going to stay walking around this maze like a rat looking for a piece of peanut butter or cheese. Getting caught up in the system, getting caught up in the control. After watching that clip, I think about that movie Django. You understand? It was a reason why Django had such a vain disgust for Samuel L. Jackson in that role he played, because he was worse than Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks. Like, when Master said he's sick, he said, "We's a sick boss." Like, mind, understand something. He was an old slave. Samuel L. Jackson's character in that movie was a very old slave. He was a slave for that. His slave master now, that's the son of the original slave master he was slaving for. You understand? That's why he in the position he in. He get to stay in the big house because he got control over all the niggas in the field. You understand? All the house Negroes that don't live in the big house with master, he got control over all of them. And that's why he didn't like Django. Django was a free man, a free black man coming to do business, but really secretly trying to free the slaves. You understand? They trying to see if they can finesse the slave master. And then it turns out that they end up having to take them up out of there. You understand? And get them slaves up out of there. Plus, Django was looking for his wife that was kidnapped and re-enslaved, because I believe she was free around the time he was free. You know what I'm saying? So, there's always going to be a little love story behind it, for cinematic value. But at the end of the day, we have to search for our inheritance. We have to search for these laws, statutes, and commandments. We have to search for our fathers. You understand? Verse 9. For we are but of yesterday and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow. We are only a speck of yesterday, because we're remnants of our former selves. We're remnants of the people before us. You understand? Like, we are but of yesterday and we know nothing. We don't know nothing. We don't know who we are. When we're in the world sitting there eating roaches of the sea, frying up shrimp, eating them damn sea roaches, smoking weed, cigarettes, popping e-pills, and all of that garbage, we all caught up in the matrix. And they just supplying us like, keep getting high. Don't worry about what we doing over here. It's none of your business. While they taking us to the goddamn cleaners for millions, down to our social security number. You understand? Like, they are robbing us blind and trying to get us up out of here at the same time. It's like they control us, they manipulate us, they make millions off of our labor. And then if they feel we're no good to them, they start unaliving us at massive rates. You understand? It's what they do. I can't explain it, but this is part of who they are. And this is why we have to inquire about the former age, our forefathers, because we're just only but of yesterday and know nothing. You understand? Verse 10. Shall not teach thee, meaning, shall we not teach the youth? Shall we not teach our brothers and sisters, whether our age, older or young? Should we not raise up the dead? Shall we not raise up a people so they can know who the hell they are? Should we not tell them? Should we not teach them? Verse 10, shall not they teach thee and tell thee and utter words out of their heart, meaning their mind. When they say heart in the scriptures, it means your mind. Your heart is an organ that pumps blood. Your mind is where everything comes from. Your mind is where to play tricks on you, Israel. You understand? Let's see where we at. know, the oppressor, the devil that the Bible speaks of, y'all. The oppressor is the goddamn devil. Slack. I'm gonna look for Romans. We have to know who we are, Israel. In order for us to know where we're going, we have to know where we've been. And the only way we can find out where we've been is find out who we once were. I pray y'all understand. It's the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. Meaning these law, statutes, and commandments was written aforetime for our learning. And this was for us to get passed down from generation to generation to generation. For us to serve our Father and to do the work of thy Father. You understand? Because you're either going to be a child of the Most High, or you're going to be wicked, a wicked, disgusting piece of garbage like Satan, and you're going to be a son of the devil. You understand? Because there's a scripture that says, ye are like your father the devil, and the work of the devil ye shall do. Meaning when you have a wicked spirit upon you, you're taking on the temptations of Satan. You understand? And you become his. Instead of serving the one that created him, you're choosing to do his bidding and be a knucklehead and sin. You understand? This is why it's imperative that we study these laws, statutes, and commandments. This is why it says, this is the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Meaning these laws, statutes, and commandments is our salvation. It's our refuge. It's our path to hope. We won't have to keep getting drunk out of our mind and getting high and blasted out of our mind to escape the reality that we're goddamn oppressed. You understand, Israel? We are an oppressed people. We are beaten down. We are worn down. We is beaten bad into a fine powder. We as a people are destroyed. You understand? Because in the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6, it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. For those that, for we reject the knowledge, the Lord will also reject thee. When we reject the truth, when our friends in the world, when they hear us talking this, you know, and they reject it, that's what that means. You know, when we out there prophesying to the wind on Broader Market or Town Square or wherever the hell we at, and people that know us walk by and they see us out there prophesying to the wind, they hear what we talking about, but they want to keep it pushing. They about to go get them an eighth and go sit down and go roll something up. You understand? That's just what they do. Like, is BS. This is why we need. This is why we need the law, statutes, and commandments. As Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we need these laws. We need these commandments because we lack discipline. We lack structure and order. And in order to have structure and order, we need these law, statutes, and commandments, because if you're keeping the law, you're living perfectly. Because the law is going to tell you what to do, what not to do, what to eat, what not to eat, how to dress and how not to dress. You understand? How to treat yourself and others, and how to love yourself and others. It's going to teach you everything. It's going to tell you stay out of the way of the heathen. Do not take upon their customs or partake on their sin. This is why the laws are perfect, because it keeps us clear out of the way of the heathen. And by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, it teaches you how to navigate through Esau's kingdom. So you don't got to sit there and keep kissing a white man's ass seeking their approval when all you're going to do is be their hand bone. Pray you understand. Cue up the next video.
Told you the first black millionaire on Wall Street out-hustled Cornelius Vanderbilt and had white newspapers calling him the Prince of Darkness. Yeah, this man was different. Meet Jeremiah Hamilton, a financial genius with a mysterious origin story. Some say he was born in the West Indies, others say Virginia. But either way, by the 1830s, he was already making headlines, and not the polite kind. He once got caught in a counterfeit coin scandal in Haiti and barely escaped with his life. Fast forward to New York, and Hamilton is posted up on Wall Street. Yep, a black man with an office in the heart of American finance. He bought land all around the Hudson River, played the real estate boom like a chessboard, and flipped insurance policies like pancakes. He even sued Vanderbilt, the richest man in America, and won. By the time he died in 1875, Hamilton had stacked over $2 million. That's more than $250 million today. Meanwhile, some of the companies he owned stock in wouldn't even let him ride first class. But he still did it. He didn't just break into the system, he bent it around his will. And now we say his name, Jeremiah Hamilton. Sticker.
The bodies. This is the part of U.S. history they don't want in textbooks. York Hill, Seneca Village. They were thriving black communities, home to free black families, formerly enslaved people, and working-class immigrants. People owned homes, built churches, raised generations, until the government decided water was more valuable than black life. They used eminent domain to seize the land. No compensation, no choice. Then they flooded it. Seneca Village now lies beneath the reservoir in Central Park. York Hill vanished under Jerome Park, and for decades, they told the world it was just vacant land. But it wasn't, and it didn't stop there. Across the country, at least 15 more black and indigenous towns were drowned to make room for lakes, dams, and white development. Sapinero, California, Henry Island, Alabama, Brown Station, New York, just to name a few. They called it progress, but it was displacement, erasure. They took land, erased maps, and sank the memory underwater. No reparations, no markers, no recognition. But the truth didn't drown. And this is only the beginning. We're building a full series to uncover every one of these towns, city by city, story by story. Because memory is resistance, and remembering is a form of justice. Follow if stories like this deserve to be remembered.
You know, Israel, you know, the more I get into learning history and teaching it, I get even more baffled that more people don't try to indulge and find out about this stuff. Like, this is some really cool stuff. Learning about the first black millionaire. You understand? Learning how a black man restructured how Wall Street deals with stocks and stuff to this day. We create everything. They can't live without us, but they can't live to be our servants. They have to have control over us. They want to use our genius, our hard work, our the sweat and blood and tears off of our back, so they can remain in control and keep us under a footstool beneath them, and they take all the credit. We built the stoplight. They created the light bill. You understand? We created the first extendable ladder for firefighters. Do the black man that created that get the credit? No. What about the first female firefighter? If you ain't tuning into these history classes, how you gonna know that there was a female firefighter back then? And the only one. And the men didn't even want to help her. And she thugged it out. But you're not gonna know it unless you look it up And you're not going to be able, at some point, you're not going to be able to Google Black history because they're trying to remove it from the books. But you know where you can go? You come to ISUPK.com and go to any school, and you can look up a history class, or you can look up North Jersey right here and look at my history classes. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed, Israel. You will learn some history. I guarantee it. You're going to learn something about your people. You're going to learn about your Gadite brothers before 77.2 million of them got annihilated. And we only have remnants of these tribes left. You understand? You're going to learn about your Ephraim and Simeon brothers, which are the Puerto Rican and Dominican. You understand? You're going to learn about your Levite brothers, which are the Haitians. Your Benjamite brothers, who are the Jamaicans. You understand? Like, it's right behind me in the background. If you see it, look at it. Look at it. Hold on. See? Seminole Indians, Argentina to Chile, Colombia to Uruguay, North American Indians, Cubans. You understand? Like, the 12 tribe chart is in my background. You got to learn who you are in order to know where you're going. I got you on that precept too, young man. Hector. I ain't forget about you. We're going to go to the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 3. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. Meaning, God created what we have on earth. You understand? Not man, God. Because without God creating the man wouldn't have been able to create anything without the okay from the Most High. God gave Adam dominion over the earth. You understand? Now, what Adam did with the dominion, as long as it was righteous and it was to please the Most High, he was allowed to do it. So if he was able to build him a house, build yourself a house. You understand? Like, through faith, understand that the world was framed by the word of God. The word of God built this world, frame by frame, piece by piece, spirit by spirit. You understand? When we started really disobeying the Most High, not listening, and then ended up being enslaved like a bunch of dumbasses, instead of following him, we wanted to do what we wanted to do. That's how we ended up in slavery. Not doing what your father tell you to do. This is why Eve ruined it for all women, all Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women. She ruined it for all of y'all. This is what happens when you don't listen to your father. You understand? Same thing for today's society when you're growing up and don't have a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian father in the house. We have to learn to be more obedient, Israel. We have to learn how to sit down, shut the hell up, and take notes and learn. That's the only way we're gonna get it. You have to look at it as your cup being damn half empty. Look at your cup as being empty. Get it filled. Like they say, you are what you eat. You are what you ingest. If you ingest healthy stuff like the law, statutes, and commandments for nourishment, you will be a healthy person spiritually. If you ingest these law, statutes, and commandments into your diet and live them, spiritually, you will be extremely a healthy person. You understand? And it's going to exuberate through your physical. You're going to be more active. You're going to do things with such a zeal that is going to be undeniable. I pray I'll understand. It's the book of Romans, chapter 8, starting at verse 30. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he called, and whom he called, them he also justified, and whom he justified, them he also glorified. Meaning, you can't do nothing without the okay of the Most High. If the Most High called on you, you were chosen. You understand? And if you was raised up to be a priest, like I was raised up to be a priest, then you also were justified. You understand? And then once you're justified by putting in his work, showing thy works, proving that you love the Most High God, you were glorified. You see how easy that worked? Verse 31. What shall we say to these things? Meaning, what shall we say to this? Is it not true? Does God not have the will? You understand? And it says, if God be for us, who could be against us? Meaning, as long as we got God with us, who the hell is going to oppose that? Who is going to go against that? You know who? The heathen. Because they don't run with God. God wasn't on the earth to serve y'all. God specifically said in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6, for art thou an holy people unto the Lord thy God. You understand? Holy meaning separate. We are a separate people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. Again, showing possession, showing that he owns us. We are his special people. Like pieces on the chessboard. We are each individual piece. We mean something to him. So he can't afford to lose any pieces. You understand what I'm saying, Israel? And I don't want to lose myself, but basically, as long as we have the Lord with us, who's going to go against us? Because if anybody else believe in a different God instead of the God of Israel, they'll get mocked. Well, what is your God going to come and do? Your God ain't going to do nothing. But we serve our God, and our God takes care of us spiritually. I pray y'all understand, Israel. As long as we got the Lord standing with us and we doing the Lord's statutes and we carrying out the Lord's statutes and commandments, there's nothing that the Lord won't do for us. Understand that, Israel. There's nothing the Lord won't do for us. All right, moving on to the next video.
John Hanson was actually America's first black president, not George Washington. This Maryland leader served as president under the Articles of Confederation in 1781, 8 full years before Washington even took office. The Continental Congress officially called him President of the United States and Congress assembled, but somehow his story got completely erased from history books and currency. Makes you wonder what other presidents we've forgotten about.
Its government didn't stop killing black leaders because they had some moral awakening. They stopped because they didn't need to anymore. Once they wiped out the radicals, Malcolm, MLK, Fred Hampton, all of them, the revolution got cut off at the knees. After that, why waste a bullet when you can just kill a movement before it even starts? By the 80s, they swapped out black power for black profit. They handed out a few golden tickets, made sure there were just enough rich and famous black faces to sell the idea that the system works. Instead of liberation, they handed out contracts, endorsements, executive positions. Instead of black power, they gave them black excellence. And look, ain't nobody saying black folks shouldn't be successful. But success inside the system is not the same as dismantling it. They let a few through the gates just as long as they played by the rules. And those rules, stay in line. Talk about personal success, not collective struggle. Build a brand, not a movement. They don't got to assassinate anyone when they can just buy them out. Or better yet, turn them into a joke. Look at what they did to Colin Kaepernick. Stood up for something, got blackballed out of the league. Angela Davis spent decades on FBI watch lists. Fred Hampton, they learned their lesson from him. Don't let him get big enough to matter in the first place. So now they just lock them up before they can get too loud. Call them terrorists, call them extremists, turn them into a headline, a mugshot, a social media circus. And for the rest, they dangle the American dream in front of them like a carrot. Work hard, climb the ladder, keep your head down, but for whose dream? Black median wealth is projected to be 0 by 2053. They never fixed redlining, they just rebranded it as gentrification. They never ended Jim Crow, they just turned it into mass incarceration. More black men in prison today than there were enslaved in 1860. That ain't a coincidence, that is by design. But the thing is, this ain't just about race. Yeah, black folks got the worst of it, but they ain't the only ones caught in this machine. They keep everybody distracted. Working class whites, Latinos, immigrants, poor folks of every shade, fighting each other while the real power stays untouched. They convinced half the country that a CEO with their skin color is their ally, while their own neighbor is the enemy. Divide and conquer, same as always. So the real question ain't what happened to the movement, it's how do we bring it back? Because if they don't have to kill revolutionaries anymore, that means we already lost once. And winning again? That ain't gonna look comfortable. It ain't gonna look polite. The next wave of revolutionaries are gonna seem too much at first. Too radical, too angry, too unwilling to compromise. But that's the only way to go forward. The civil rights movement was called extreme in its time. The labor movement was called un-American. Every fight for freedom has been smeared before it's been won. So what's it gonna take? Because if history's got anything to teach us, it's that nothing changes till people get real uncomfortable. The system don't break itself. The question is, are we ready to...
Who became Emperor of Haiti, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, was born into slavery but rose to lead Haiti's revolution, defeating Napoleon's troops and declaring independence in 1804.
Like, you gotta understand where we come from, Israel. We are some dope people. I pray you understand. Like, we really have a dope, spiritually rich history. As long as we serve the Most High God was ride or die with us, man. Y'all gotta wake up and get with the times, Israel. This is a crucial piece of our survival, which is our history. Understand how powerful history is. You know, we got a lot of ignorance in being in the world, not in the truth. You know, there's a lot of people in the world that's ignorant and don't look at life how we look at it because they got those blinders on, and the blinders is drugs, alcohol, feminism, pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, uncleanliness, cigarettes, black mouths. You understand? They have those type of blinders on, and they're being manipulated and controlled by the powers that be in the world, and by society and by social media and the standards that they put out there for people to uphold to keep us mentally trapped in. You understand? And we go to the book of John, chapter 1, verse 1. It says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. And the Word was God," because the Most High God is the laws, statutes, and commandments perfected. Just like when Christ was here. You understand? The law, statutes, and commandments were of Christ perfected. And it was perfected by Christ because he spent his entire childhood and teen years studying and mastering the law, statutes, and commandments. Putting everything together in a book. The Bible is a history book. Commander General YAHANNA says this all the time. These are our records. You understand, Israel? These law, statutes, and commandments are our own history records. And this is the only living book that tells you about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, past, present, and future. The only book. The only book, Israel. The beginning was the Word, and the Word was of God, and the Word was God. You understand? I pray you do, Israel. We are the law, statutes, and commandments perfected if we're keeping the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. Now we go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5 says, "Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee." Like the Most High knew before we was conceived in the womb, before the seed was planted into the egg. He knew. He like, yup, that's gonna be a Yashala. That one's going to be Kashaka War. That one's going to be Tazariak. That one's going to be Katazar. That one's going to be Akkad. That one's going to be Tower War. That one right there going to be Morsar. That one going to be Goyala. That one going to be Adaya. That one right there going to be Marah. This one right here is going to be Banyak. This one right here going to be Hazayan. Like, the Most High knew us in the womb. You understand? He knew us. He knew thee before I formed thee in the belly. I knew thee. That's what he's saying right there. Before, Book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou comest forth out of the womb, I sacrificed thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. You understand? In this particular precept, he's talking about Christ. He knew that he was going to send Christ out to be a sacrifice for all of Israel before he came out of the womb. You understand? He knew that was going to be his begotten son, and he was ordained to be a prophet unto the nations before he even was born. He knew he was going to be special when he come out. He knew he was going to be able to lead the nation. And that's the power that we hold in today's time, Israel. If we stay rooted and stay grounded and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, we will have the power to raise the dead. We will have the power to cleanse unclean spirits, to cast them out. You understand? We will have the power to rise up a nation. It's nothing to it. It's real simple, Israel. All we got to do is keep his law, statutes, and commandments. Have wives, make babies, raise a nation. Love your wives. Wives, love your husbands. You understand? Like, this was part of God's plan for us to be fruitful and multiply, to raise up a nation. So when they come back, so when the kings come back in return, we will be in position to run this, and we will be trained even further by Christ to be prepared to run this, and we're going to be prepared for war as well, on the ready at all times, head on a swivel. I pray y'all understand, Israel. Like, that ain't heavy to you? He said, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. Like, I knew you was going to be special. I knew you was going to be the one. I knew you was going to be a prophet. I knew you was going to be a priest. That's heavy. That's like you predicting before you lay down with your wife, like, you're going to bear a child of mine, and that child is going to be special. It's going to be a boy. He's going to do some great things. Like, trying to put that type of prophecy into fruition, that's an amazing skill. But for it to actually happen, wow, like that's amazing, Israel. You understand? Like, that's something that's far amazing. Pray you understand. That's like so amazing. Let's see. Bear with me, Israel. Trying to find something specific. I didn't realize I got so many goddamn precepts now. There we go. 23, 1 through 4. We'll stay right here in Jeremiah briefly. Now, what I'm about to read next is going to be because in today's society, right, for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we don't have no leadership. We don't have no one leading us and holding us down and putting us in position to really bring this whole thing down to sunder so we can rebuild it up to be what it's supposed to be, our kingdom. Like, it's seriously supposed to be our kingdom, Israel. They're supposed to serve us. We're not the other way around. If we go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, starting at verse 1, it says, woe. Now that's heavy. From the door. If you don't know, woe means swift death and destruction. You understand? Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. And when he says sheep, he means his sheep, meaning the house of Israel, his blacks, natives, and Hispanic people, the people that he deemed special unto him. You understand, Israel? He said, swift death and destruction unto the pastors that destroy and scatter my sheep, meaning all these Christian churches, all these Muslim mosques, all these synagogues of Satan, all these Catholic, Baptist, Protestant, Roman Catholic, evangelistic, Jehovah Witness, all of that, all y'all Christians, all y'all, woe. That's all I can say is woe to you. Like, seriously, woe. Swift death and destruction to y'all. I pray y'all understand. Verse 2. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Meaning these pastors is feeding our people lies. They lying and saying God loves everybody. And then they got the audacity to try to use the John 3:16. Because they're saying, for God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten son. No, that wasn't for every goddamn body. That was for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. 1, 2. That was not for heathens. That was not for Ham. That wasn't for Edom. That wasn't for Japhet. Wasn't for none of them heathens. It was for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and the lost sheep were those that left the flock because of pastors, because of drugs, because of alcohol, because of idolatries. Witnesses, being false witnesses, accusers, thieves, liars. You understand? This is what pulled them away from the flock of the Most High. And to this day, we still have a lot of lost sheep out here. We got to get it together, Israel. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Lord. Meaning, I'm gonna translate that for you. I'm gonna pull up on you, and when I pull up on you, you're gonna feel it, and you're gonna hold all of that, all of it. I got you, young man Hector. We're going to spin the block on that. Verse 3. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whether I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. Meaning the Most High God is gathering his children back. Through these laws, statutes, and commandments, through the ISUPK and the Commander General YAHANNA, he's going to bring his children back together. He's going to bring his sons and daughters of Israel back together. His princes and his princesses is coming back home. He's returning the flock. He's going to get you off of drugs. He's going to get you off of the streets and out of homelessness. He's going to get you off of gangbanging. He's going to get you off of robbing and stealing and stuff. He's going to get you from being whores. He's going to get you from being whoremongers. The Most High is coming to save you. Now, you might get a pamper pop or two, but he's going to save you. You understand? You never know what that pamper pop might be. But the Most High is not, your sins is not going to go unchecked. He will bring you back home to the flock. but you will answer for your sins. That you're gonna do. He will make sure you take accountability for your foul ups and make sure you don't do it again. See, the thing is, it's best if we voluntarily get ourselves prepared for the Most High and for the return of our King, Yahushua Mashiach. You understand? We have to gather together. We have to unite. We have to get back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. And all this stems from learning your history, learning who you are, learning where you come from, learning where you originate. Because if you know where you're from, you know where you're going. Because you know what you're going to do, you know what you're not going to do, you know what you're going to eat, you know what you're not going to eat, you know who you're going to dwell with, you know who you're not going to dwell with, you know who you're going to will and deal with and do business with overall, and you're going to learn who not to do business with. You understand? The Bible is the perfect one-on-one on the do's and don'ts of any world that we live in outside of the world of the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? I pray y'all do. And he's going to return us to our folds properly. And we're going to be fruitful and increase. Meaning we're going to bear children. We're going to raise a nation of solid ass children. Verse 4, and I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith the Lord. Most High said, I got you. I'm going to have a shepherd take over you, make sure y'all taken care of. You're going to make sure y'all eat. Y'all going to get these laws, statutes, and commandments. Your spirit is going to get the proper nourishment that it damn sure deserves. You understand? So fear not, fear no more. Do not be dismayed. You understand? And neither shall they be lacking, saith the Lord. You're not going to lack in nothing. The Most High going to make sure you properly increased around the board. And all you got to do is just put your brick in, serve him, pass the word down to generations, and keep them happy. Just to keep them happy. You understand, Israel? This is where to keep the Most High happy. Keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. Loving each other like he loved us. And this is how you know he's a man. For those feminists that want to sit there and say, oh, women came first. Oh, men's supposed to serve the woman. If y'all don't get y'all ass backwards way of thinking the hell up out of here and stop trying to corrupt other people, y'all already corrupted. Get help. I'm so serious. Sisters need to get some serious goddamn help. Like something wrong with y'all. Like y'all really on that fentanyl. Like y'all really on that Fetty Wap. Like you serious? Like that's what we doing. That's the type of stuff we on. Like I'm looking at a clip earlier. A sister was sitting there talking about, oh, look at Megan Thee Stallion. Look at this one. Look at that one. What does that tell you? Like you say that like they winning right now, like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. They like how they winning. They dropped their husbands to lay around with other men in the industry because they famous now. You understand what I'm saying, Israel? Like, this is why we have to be mindful with what we do, how we move, when we move, making sure that we moving in uprightness and in righteousness. I pray y'all understand, Israel. Like, we really have to get it together. We have to fight. And I'm not talking about we have to fight the white man and nothing like that. No. The fight we have is a spiritual one. The fight we have is with the one in the mirror. You understand? The fight that we have is to fight this. To fight the flesh. Fight that urge of wanting to fry some goddamn shrimp. Fighting the urge of wanting to lay with a white woman because she got yams and she looks pretty. You understand? Because don't get me wrong, there's some white girls out there that's not ugly and they got bodies on them. But it's like what Camp Tazariak said. You know, it's not that heathens are not beautiful in their own right in today's society. It's just unlawful for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to dwell with them. It's just unlawful for us to lay with them. You understand? And that's basically what it boils down to. Like, yeah, they can look good all they want, but we're not supposed to lay with them because it's against what the Most High God has set forth for us. So we have to just keep that in mind and respect the Lord's statutes and commandments. They were put in place for a very important reason. So we can survive. So we can raise up men and raise up real young, beautiful sisters. And I mean beautiful spiritually and on the outside. It's the book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. See, young man Hector, that's how I know you've been in class. You pulling out one of our oldies but goodies, bedrock scriptures. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I really appreciate you for having the zeal that you have. 1, 2, for being consistently in this class day in and day out. And I appreciate you even more for being in my Lashwan Kodash on Friday and my Sabbath service on Saturday. I really do appreciate you, young man. You got a great zeal for the Lord. I can't wait till you earn your Hebrew name. Your name is going to be something powerful. I know it. I know it. I sense it in your spirit. You're going to have some righteous ass name. Your name going to be something serious. I promise you. But yeah, this is the book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. And his commandments are not grievous. It's not. Don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster. Don't sleep with that whore over there. Don't deal with them heathens over there. They mean you no good. It may look good on the surface, but behind the scenes, they trying to do you. And the Most High not telling you nothing wrong. Don't sleep with whores. Don't make whores of your sisters. Don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster. Don't unalive your brother or your sister. Don't unalive nobody, because vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. You understand? Don't lay with your brother's wife. You understand? Don't lay with anybody's wife for that matter. It's the Most High is gonna. He put these law, statutes, and commandments in place for a reason, and these law, statutes, and commandments are not grievous. They are for us, and they're for our survival. They're for our better well-being. I pray y'all really pray y'all understand and y'all get it, Israel. All right, on to the next video. Get some more of this history in.
Because when you understand our history, we done been through worse than this. You mean to tell me you can snatch us from the coast of Africa? You can place us in the bottom of ships? You can sail us over waters? Some of us jumped over, some of us stayed in. We didn't know the language. We could land in a place we had never been in before, didn't know each other, didn't know you, you didn't know us, but then we were able to develop a culture that is envied around the world. We were able to build institutions. We were able to build banks. We were able to build communities. We were able to build churches. We were able to build the White House that man sit in today. He spoke and said, why are you looking for the living amongst the walking dead? Because anytime you can deport a citizen and don't feel nothing, it's because you walking dead. Anytime you can threaten the IRS status of universities because they don't believe what you believe and they let their students exercise their First Amendment right, it's because you walking dead. Anytime you think you can sell Bibles and tennis shoes, sometimes God has to show up and refresh your expectation. Sometimes you have to tell yourself, this is not over. There is more to life than this. We're going to get past this. We're going to live through this. That this is not the worst that we've seen. That there is still better days. Is there anybody that ever had to talk themselves out of some things because the enemy was trying to make you believe it was over? But what I like about the women is they didn't let their trauma create paralysis. Because you do know the purpose of what is going on today is for the purpose of traumatizing us so that we end up paralyzed. You do know what is happening today is designed to make us so fearful that we won't know what to do. We won't act, we won't speak, we won't gather, we won't celebrate. But I need somebody who in deep East Oakland, not regular East Oakland, deep East Oakland, who know that when you from down here, you're not scared of nothing and nobody. I need a few people to understand that I'm not gonna let anybody from a White House or anybody living in my house to keep me from being a witness on behalf of God. The Bible says, but this is why they're trying to erase our history. Because when you understand our history, you know we done been through worse than this.
11, Nathaniel Alexander changed the way people gather with his invention of the folding chair. Before his design, seating was bulky and inconvenient, making it difficult to accommodate large crowds at schools, churches, and public events. Alexander's folding chair was lightweight, easy to store, and even included a bookrest, making it perfect for classrooms and religious services. His innovation quickly became essential, allowing venues to set up and rearrange seating efficiently. Today, folding chairs are used everywhere, from concerts and conferences to backyard gatherings. His simple yet brilliant idea continues to impact daily life over a century later. Yet, few people know his name. Want to learn more about Black inventors who shaped the world? Subscribe now and let us know which invention we should cover next.
Ties that bind us together, nothing can take that away. No. Sticking together.
Today, we honor Dr. James McCune Smith, the first African American to earn a medical degree. Denied education in the U.S. due to racism, he traveled to Scotland to become a doctor and later used his knowledge to fight for abolition and racial justice. Let's explore 5 powerful facts about this groundbreaking scholar and activist. Fact 1. The first Black American doctor. Born into slavery in New York City, James McCune Smith was denied entry into U.S. medical schools due to racist policies. Instead, he attended the University of Glasgow in Scotland, earning his medical degree in 1837, becoming the first African-American doctor in history. Fact 2. A skilled physician and scholar. Returning to the U.S., Smith opened his own medical practice and pharmacy, becoming the first Black person to operate a pharmacy in the country. He was also a respected intellectual, writing essays that debunked racist pseudoscience used to justify slavery. Fact 3. Abolitionist and friend of Frederick Douglass, Smith worked closely with Frederick Douglass, co-editing his newspaper, The North Star. He used his platform to expose the horrors of slavery and argue for equal rights and education for Black Americans. Fact 4. Fought for Black education and suffrage. A strong believer in education, he helped establish the New York Colored Orphan Asylum, providing care and schooling to Black children. He also fought for Black voting rights and spoke out against the racist Back to Africa movement, believing in Black American progress within the U.S. Fact 5. His legacy was hidden for decades. Despite his achievements, Smith's contributions were largely erased from mainstream history. However, scholars today recognize him as one of the most brilliant Black minds of the 19th century, paving the way for future Black doctors, activists, and scholars.
Tonight, me and my brothers are going to tell you the true history of basketball. Family, as always, just know it isn't pretty.
At the time, we slaved for Mr. Naismith, and for the most part, he was kind. Didn't hit on us or nothing.
You see, we were just trying to have fun. It was never supposed to get out of hand, but they liked taking anything and everything from us. Virgil, though, he had a way of stirring things up, always trying to do so much extra. And see, Virgil, he made the baskets for Mr. Naismith's peaches, and that day, he made a mistake, so he had an extra basket.
Yeah, I messed up. We got another one today. And we should use it and make something fun with it.
So that's what we did. The next day, we made a little game where we'd see who could make the most peaches in the basket.
It was real fun too. Virgil called it basketball. All us field hands couldn't get enough of it.
They was having so much fun, but just like with anything, that fun was not going to last. See, Mr. Naismith came back from his town trip early that day, and we all could tell it hadn't been a good trip.
That day when Mr. Naismith got home, he saw him having a good time and asked whose idea all this was, so Virgil stepped forward. Virgil was so excited, but Master was growing angrier by the second.
He told Virgil he'd forget about all of it if he beat him in this new game he created.
He then went and made us hold Virgil down as he broke both of his arms. Virgil had no chance. Master shot him in the head, then stuffed a peach in his mouth and hung him by the barn for us all to remember. They never played again, but Mr. Naismith went on to share the game with his friends, and basketball was born.
You see how wicked the oppressor could be, Israel? Just wicked. Just wicked. You see look how basketball was created. Dropping peaches in the basket to see who could do the most shots, right? Trying to help calm Master ignorant ass down. And what he do? He break the brother's arm. First, he make the other slaves hold him down while he break his arms, and then shoots him in the head, stuff a peach in his mouth, and then hang him. But you want to be on his side. But you want to kiss his ass and be his friend. How dare you? You make the slaves look bad. Trying to kiss the white man's ass for his approval makes us look like shit. Period. Salakia for the language, but y'all got to get this. Stop trying to be the damn oppressor's friend. They don't like us. They don't want us. They hung us. They shot us. They burned us alive. They ate us. They took our skin and used it to make handbags, shoes, coats, book covers. Used our babies for alligator bait. What more do you need as proof to not dwell with them? What more do you need as evidence to leave them the F alone? What do you need? You need a sign and a wonder? You need more proof? Or you need somebody from your family in today's generation and times to get hung? Or you want a cross on your front lawn burned or set to fire? Because I know how these black Christians out here like serving that cross, like doing the sign of the cross, because y'all want to mock Christ. Ignorant bastards. Stop kissing the white man's ass. It's nasty. It stinks. It reeks of murder. It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 11. Now, all these things happen unto them for ensamples. Damn, the scriptures is spot on. It said, now all these things happen unto them for examples, like example. That's basically what it's saying, as an example. We were the example. But yet we still kiss up the master. Try to get the approval of master. Maybe Massa give me another $1 raise. Maybe Massa might give me a day off so I can spend with my babies. Shut up. Shut up. F Master. Stack your chips up and make your own business. And stop making him rich. Try that. Kiss your own ass for a change. It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 11. Now, all these things happen unto them for ensamples, and they are written for our admonition. Admonition. upon whom the end of the world are come. These was written for us to admonish, for us to embrace it, for us to embody it and learn from it. Learn to not make those mistakes. You understand? We're supposed to admonish our forefathers. We're supposed to admonish the Lord God. We're supposed to admonish these Lord statutes and commandments. And it said, upon whom the end of the world are to come. Understand something. The end of the world is not the end of our world. The end of the world means the end of Esau's kingdom and the beginning of Jacob, who is Israel, who is our forefathers. You understand? Yes, World War III is in the midst. Yes, all this is going to get bombed at smithereens. So effing what? We will be back. And when we be back, we'll be back 100-fold stronger, 100-fold better, and in a kingdom where we run this. We will run this. Understand what I'm saying, Israel. We will run this. Now, if we go to the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 3, starting at verse 1. This is a true saying. If a man desires the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work. Meaning, if he desires to want to be a priest, he's desiring a good position. But you have to live up to the position. You have to put your brick in. You have to do the work of the Lord to be that bishop. You understand? And I don't mean no Christian bishop, no Catholic Church bishop. I'm not talking about that garbage, that fake religious BS. Because I like how people sometimes try to come on here and heckle and try to give me a hard time, and I'm trying to teach. And I just like how they sit there and they say they black too. You make black people look bad. You're a disgrace. Because my thing is I'm preaching love and I'm teaching history. So why the hell would you come on my channel and try to deter me from trying to teach my people? You don't want to take notes? Get the hell off my page. It's just that simple. I'm not going to stop teaching. You don't want to learn? Get the F off my page. Unfollow, unsubscribe. That's it. It's just that simple. Done data. Like, I don't understand these ingrates. Verse 2. A bishop then must be blameless, meaning you can't have no blame. You got to be fully accountable for what you do and what you say, how you carry yourself, and how you treat others. You understand? Blameless. The husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality and apt to teach, meaning you're solid. Your spirit is solid, and you're apt to teach. Like, you're willing to teach, but you're also willing to learn, so you be able to be fit to teach. And you're hospitable, meaning you have brotherhood in you, and you could be a brother to sisters as well. You understand? Verse 3. Not given to wine, no striker, not greedy of filthy lucre, meaning, all right, meaning you're not a drunkard, you're not an abusive man, you're not sitting there beating the hell out of your woman, because the Lord don't like that. You understand? You're not greedy and lustful. You understand? You're not greedy and lustful. You're not out there wanting to sleep with whores. You're actually loving your wife. You know, if you choose to have another wife, it's lawful, but you love your wife. You understand? And you love your people. And you honor the Most High. And it says, but patient, not a brawler, not a covetous. Meaning you don't sleep with other men's wives. You understand? You're not no troublemaker trying to sit there and start fights and start brawls with people. And you're patient. You know, is a level of righteousness in that. And we have to learn that, Israel. We have to learn that righteousness. Verse 4. One that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity, meaning you are the king of your castle. You run your household. Your wife is in line, and she's learning the law, statutes, and commandments from you. Your children is all in check properly groomed and properly well loved and taken care of, and they're learning the laws, statutes, and commandments right along with your rib, because you are a solid priest and you're learning the truth and you're teaching it to your family. You're teaching it to your wife, and she's teaching it to the children. And you love your wife and you love your children, and you're raising them correctly in all gravity. Verse 5, for if a man know not how to rule his house, his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? That's absolutely correct. If you don't know how to run your household, how do you expect to run a congregation? If you can't delegate problems with your own wife and children, how can you help a young man or a trooper or a young priest under you when he comes to you with problems, whether they're marital problems with his rib or issues with discipline issues with his children, or you might not know how to approach a certain situation? You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to be solid in your own shoes to be able to fill the shoes of a priest and also help raise up and take care of a nation. It is a great responsibility that's not easy. You understand? And you learn and strive to be a better man and a better priest along the way. I pray y'all understand, Israel. Time is flying. We want to start getting through some more of these clips. I got 6 more in the clip loaded. Let's get to it.
Spanning all history, just the parts that make them uncomfortable. From Florida to Texas, from Tennessee to Iowa, over 18 states have passed laws restricting how teachers talk about race, slavery, and systemic oppression. They claim it's about divisive concepts. But what are they really afraid of? Afraid we'll learn how this nation was truly built. Afraid we'll uncover the systems still at play. Afraid we'll know our worth and our power. Black history is not just black people's history. It's world history. It's innovation, resistance, triumph. To erase it is to erase the soul of humanity's progress. So I ask again, what are they afraid of? Because teaching black history might just liberate us all. They don't teach you this in school. Long before Rome ruled, there was Carthage, a powerful North African empire founded by Phoenicians, but later led by mighty black rulers. And at the heart of it all, Hannibal Barca, a military genius, a legend. When Rome threatened his people, Hannibal did the unthinkable. He marched across the Alps with an army of warriors and war elephants. Through freezing mountains, brutal terrain, he came face to face with the Roman Empire and nearly crushed them. One of the greatest military minds in history, erased from most textbooks. But today, we remember him. For over 130 years, she smiled on syrup bottles. But Aunt Jemima wasn't real. She was a corporate invention, rooted in racist minstrel shows, built to profit from a caricature of the black mammy who served white families. The first woman hired to portray her? Nancy Green, a formerly enslaved woman. She was a powerful speaker and activist, yet they erased her truth. They used her image, her presence, but never her name. Aunt Jemima became a billion-dollar brand, while the real women behind the mask lived and died in the shadows. This isn't just syrup. It's history they tried to sugarcoat, but we won't let that happen. Know the truth. Share the truth. In 1945, the state of Georgia strapped a black woman to the electric chair. Her name was Lena Baker, a mother, a maid, a survivor. She killed a white man who had kidnapped, raped, and beat her. She told the court it was self-defense. He was going to kill her. But in Jim Crow, Georgia, a poor black woman's word meant nothing. 12 white men sentenced her to death in one day. She begged for her life. They didn't care. She was electrocuted to death. 60 years later, decades too late, they quietly admitted the truth. She should have never been convicted. She should have never been executed. She should have never been treated like she didn't matter. This is America's pattern. They kill us, then clear our names long after the grave has closed. Lena Baker deserved justice in life, but like too many, she only got it in death. The story of the Buffalo Soldiers is deeper than just the American South. Some of these warriors came from the Caribbean, Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, bringing with them the fire of freedom and a legacy of resistance. They didn't just fight on American soil. They stood tall in Cuba during the Spanish-American War, held the line in the Philippines, and patrolled the jungles near the Panama Canal. They spoke with island accents, carried pride from across the sea, and still wore the blue uniform with honor. They were not just soldiers. They were symbols of global black resilience. From the plantations of the South to the shores of the Caribbean, the Buffalo Soldier legacy knows no borders. In 1978, Ron Stallworth became the first black detective in Colorado Springs. His first undercover case? Infiltrating the Ku Klux Klan. It started with a newspaper ad. Ron responded using his real name and his best white voice. The Klan called back. He pretended to be a racist white man, and they bought it. But someone had to show up. So Ron sent a white officer as his double. Together, they infiltrated meetings, stopped attacks, and exposed Klan members, including some in the military. Klan rallies were raided left and right. Ron even had regular phone calls with David Duke, the Klan's Grand Wizard, who never knew he was black. The case was buried, but Ron kept the files. Years later, he told his story. Black Klansman became a book, then an Oscar-winning film. Ron Stallworth didn't just survive racism. He beat the Klan from within.
Of the Moorish people at that point by these initiates. And that America was Almaricanos. We got the name America from Almaricanos, not from Amerigo Vespucci. And Almaricanos means El Morocco. And that Morocco was the Sultanate of Morocco was the ruler of America at one point. Now this goes back into a very deep history. And he was here, he came back to America to teach the so-called black people, which were really of Moorish descent and heritage, their true heritage. And that this whole stuff about African slaves, I mean, look, there were a lot of slaves brought over from Africa, don't get me wrong. But this was not where all the black people came from. And the chopping down of the cherry tree, the Moroccan flag was the red flag, the red standard. It was called the cherry tree because it was red. Originally it was pure red. They later put a green saber on it, or a green pentagram on it to distinguish it from maritime red flags. But it was originally red, and it was called the cherry tree. So George Washington chopping down the cherry tree referred to the fact that the first treaty with the United States of America was with Morocco, and part of that arrangement between their diplomacies was that Morocco had sued America during the Revolutionary War because they were enslaving their people. The Sultan was so they sued America, and America did not respond. So Morocco started taking hostage American ships hostage, and this resulted in a diplomatic squabble, which eventually was settled with the first. America did not respond. So Morocco started taking hostage American ships hostage, and this resulted in a diplomatic squabble, which eventually was settled with the first peace treaty of the United States of America. And part of that settlement was that Moorish citizens, going back years, hundreds of years in some cases, should be released. And all they needed to do was go to the president, go to the White House and say, I am a free Moorish national, let me go, and they would be freed from bondage. The problem with George Washington is not that he didn't recognize it, was that he didn't announce it. He didn't make it known. He obscured the fact, even from his own slaves. He didn't tell them, you know, we made a deal with the Moroccans and you can go if you're a Moorish national. And so this is George Washington chopping down the cherry tree.
Tell the story of the first American president. They skip straight to George Washington, but under the Articles of Confederation, there were 8 men who held the title of president, including John Hanson. Yes, that John Hanson, a white landowner, chosen to preside over the Continental Congress in 1781. But then, there's this John Hanson, a black man, a freed slave, a Liberian senator, a man they buried under silence. In the 1800s, freed black Americans were sent to Liberia, and John Hanson rose again, this time not as a puppet, but a symbol. 2 men, same name, 2 timelines. But ask yourself, why are we never taught about either in full? They want us to argue about which John Hanson was first, instead of asking why both were erased. They erased the black man, and the truth he stood for. You're watching The Lie They Sold the World, Episode 4. Like, follow, and share if you're done with half-truth history.
And that's some more background on our history, Israelite. We have to understand that they hide stuff from us in plain sight for a reason. They don't want us to know the truth. This right here is the truth. We are the people, the chosen people of God. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. This is the truth. We are meant to run this world, period. They were created to serve us, period. That's the truth. And the more we keep getting high, eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, sleeping with white women, unaliving one another, staying asleep, trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to get a Birkin bag and all of that garbage, they're going to keep winning. They're going to keep doing us in and doing us dirty. Like the more we it's like the more we get caught up in the nonsense, the more we you know, it's almost like that episode of Martin where him and Tommy was like, keep the lie alive. Like they were saying a lot of that stuff for comedic value. However, there's some validity to wanting to keep the lie alive. They want to keep controlling the masses, keep us asleep so they can continue controlling us, continue using us for slave labor and getting rich off of our labor. And then the money that the little crumbs that they do give us, we end up giving it back to them. Because we don't spend money with our own people, because we don't like our own people. We hate ourselves. And that's the truth of the matter. We hate ourselves to the point that we cannot stand one another because we hate ourselves. You can't stand your goddamn self. So your sick ass is going to hate your brother, hate your sister. Idiots. It's sad. But I'm showing stuff about us that makes us great, not just us being slaves. We had a black president. He was the original black president on the $2 bill. That's why it wasn't that many in circulation. Look it up. We'll read a couple more scriptures, and then I got a couple more videos to close it out. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, starting at verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. It's self-explanatory. Keep the law, statutes, and the commandments, and the Lord is going to be with you. He's going to help you. He's going to strengthen you. He's going to build you up. You understand? The Most High built Pharaoh up so high that when he knocked him down, he fell all the way down beyond destruction. You understand? But for his own people, He's going to build you up. You're going to be so great. Slovakia. Oh my gosh. He's going to build you up to be so great. And you're going to be so humble and so loving and show so much zeal and brotherhood that you're not going to take the praise or the credit. You're going to give it to right back to the Most High. You understand? You're going to give it right back to the Most High. And you're going to continue to raise up outstanding brothers and wonderful, glorious sisters. You understand? And raise glorious children to follow in the footsteps of this righteousness. Verse 11, behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish. Meaning, if you go against the grain, if you go against these laws, statutes, and commandments, or go against the Most High God, you understand, you will perish. You will be ashamed and confounded forever. You will be troubled. Don't do it. Just don't do it. There's no other way for me to put it. I pray you understand. Just don't do it. Just don't do it, Israel. It's just that simple. Don't do it. All right. Here we go.
Did you know after Nat Turner's 1831 rebellion in Southampton, Virginia, that he was skinned and eaten by white people? Nat Turner led one of the deadliest slave revolts in U.S. history, and after he was caught, he was eaten by white people. This is a book called The Delectable Negro. In this book, they explain the fascination and how it was a common thing for Europeans to eat the slaves. Page 68. Many whites feared that Turner would literally rise from the grave and rebone himself. This is how some explain the gruesome cannibalization of Turner after his death. According to Jewelry, after Turner was executed, his body was delivered to doctors who skinned it and made grease of his flesh. Not to mention that he was literally skinned alive. This is page 91. After Turner was captured, he was hung, skinned, and bled, and his body was boiled down to grease. Blacks of the region around this time swore off the consumption of castor oil. And why didn't blacks want to use castor oil around this time? Because they thought it might be Nat Turner's grease. They thought it might literally be his body. This oil that they made from his flesh, what was it used for? Was it to cook? Was it to oil their own body? Was it for ingestion as medicine or for some other domestic use? Whatever the reason, it was cannibalistic. They also took his skin and made purses and wallets out of his hide. So before you say that Nat Turner deserved this because he unalived 60 white people, you need to understand that slavery was already going on for 200 years at this time. But make sure you follow for more unknown history. Shalom.
1,700 acres from black farmers, then paid them back 30 years later. In 1969, 12 black farmers in southwest Georgia came together with a vision to own land together. They called it New Communities. 5,700 acres, the largest black-owned plot in the country. A farm, a collective, a dream. Led by civil rights activist Slater King of Albany, they studied land laws in Israel, built a sugarcane mill, raised grapes, sold crops. They were building something no one had seen, a land trust for black freedom. Then came the drought, twice. And when they asked the USDA for help, they were denied, while white farmers got approved. In 1983, the USDA took their land and gave them nothing in return. 30 years later, during the Pigford versus Glickman case, New Communities won their fight. In 2009, they were awarded $12.8 million, the largest settlement ever given to black farmers. What they built was stolen. But their dignity was never for sale. If this happened to your family, what would you have done? This is our history.
Follow for more untold stories because this journey is just beginning. A black woman beat up a man in 1955 who tried to run her off the road. Lucille Times was born April 22, 1921, in Hope Hull, Alabama. She was raised to believe two things: you're no better than anyone, and when you're right, don't back down. By 1955, she was already hosting secret NAACP meetings in her Holt Street home in Montgomery, Alabama. On June 15th, a white bus driver named James Blake tried to run her off the road. When he confronted her, she fought back. Fists flew. She bit him, and she didn't back down. That same James Blake would arrest Rosa Parks 6 months later. That night, E.D. Nixon told Lucille change had to happen on the bus. She told him, "I'm starting a boycott tomorrow." And she did. She gave rides in her Buick. Her cafe became a hub. Her car became a movement. Lucille Times didn't wait for permission. She drove through fear and made her way. She died in 2021 at the age of 100. They feared her power because she used it before they could control it. This is our history. Follow for more untold stories because this journey is just beginning. He built over 300 bridges and still had to fight for a seat at the table. Born in 1888 in Ottumwa, Iowa, Archibald Archie Alexander was told engineering wasn't for him. He was black, and that meant doors stayed shut. But he forced them open. In 1912, he became the first black graduate of the University of Iowa's College of Engineering. He worked multiple jobs to pay tuition and earned the nickname Alexander the Great as a football star. Even then, they said no one would hire him. So he built his own firm. By 26, he was designing bridges across America. He led over 300 major projects, like the seawall at the tidal basin and the airfield where the Tuskegee Airmen trained. His firm became so successful, Ebony called it the nation's most famous interracial business. And he didn't stop there. He became an NAACP leader, a civil rights voice, and the first Republican governor of the U.S. Virgin Islands. When he died, he left scholarships so black engineers could rise faster than he did. He showed us how to build power, not ask for it. This is our history. Follow for more untold stories because this journey is just beginning.
All in a nutshell, we were great, Israel, and we could be great again. F what Trump talking about make America great again. He wants to enslave us, manipulate, and control us. That's how he's going to make America great again, by resurrecting the KKK and all the white supremacist groups and unite them. While we busy want to get high because they just put up 5 new dispensaries in Jersey City. You understand? Because they just put up a couple new smoke shops down the way. Meanwhile, mom and pop stores still getting closed down. Bodegas getting knocked down and moved. It's insane. I watched a couple bodegas they moved. I don't see them. And I go to them all the time. Like, that's why I used to go get my sandwiches from. Now it's East Indians in the store. Where did they come from? But that's that regentrification. Blacks and Hispanics and their Indians, y'all better wake up, man. I mean it. Y'all better wake the hell up. Y'all lacking for real. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 10. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? You know why the former days were better than these? Because in those times, those black people stood for something. In those times, them people stood 10 toes on that business, whether if it meant death, destruction, or oppression. In those times, they raised their children. They feared the Most High God. They kept the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? They lived righteous. Not now. Now we drunkards. We drug addicts, pill poppers. Our kids are lost. Out here unaliving each other at 14, 15 years old. Headshots by gunfire. You understand? Like, it's sad. When are we going to wake up and stop the tomfoolery? I don't think y'all understand Israel. Y'all got, we. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 10. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou doest not inquire wisely concerning this. Verse 11, wisdom is good with the inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. Meaning, if we chase after the inheritance that the Most High God gave us, if we keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, we can have everlasting life. If we put the pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster down, if we stop being whores and whoremongers and workers of witchcraft, if we as a people stand 10 toes down on this business and put these bricks in with the Most High God, we won't have to suffer. Again, if you keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, you can maneuver through today's time because you know what to do, you know what not to do, you know what to eat, you know what not to eat. You know who to lay with and who not to lay with. You know how many you can lay with and how many you should. You know the do's and don'ts. But you know what you don't do? You don't listen. You want to do what the hell you want to do because you think you're grown. You think you know something. You don't know nothing. Why you think we in these classes? Because we don't know shit. We have to stop pleasing our flesh. We got to stop acting like we know something. Maybe if we start acting like we don't know nothing, maybe we can learn something. What is it going to take for us to wake up, Israel? You tell me. Since people know every goddamn thing, tell me, enlighten me. Learn this history. Learn these law, statutes, and commandments. And maybe we might learn how to get somewhere. One battle, one day at a time. Y'all stay tuned tomorrow for the Brotherhood class, man. Pay your goddamn tithes. That's my time, Israel. With that, shalom.